5 habits for effectively trying to lose weight without counting calories. I think it's important that you learn how to eat correctly and that you find a way to cut weight without having to monitor your food. There are people out there that are trying to lose weight, and counting grams of carbs, counting your macros, counting your calories, weighing your food is really how you need to do it. It's how most people learn, but people don't have that ambition. Some people are not trying to get shredded and look totally aesthetic on stage or even for the beach. They just want to feel better. They want to get close to where they were when they were a teenager, and they're just trying to get healthier. So here are the 5 habits, and my thing is I like to focus on educating people and really giving people long-term lifestyle habits and not some gung-ho crash diet or gung-ho crash program. And this is the first thing I'm going to teach you or go over is eat to 80% full and focus on eating slowly. This is a very simple thing to focus on. A lot of people, we're always in a rush. We have so much to do. We're on our phone while we eat. It's a bad habit I have. We're always trying to do so many things in one. We're a multitasking nation. We want to get more done in a shorter period of time. And we have to learn how to enjoy our food. If you learn how to enjoy and taste your food instead of inhaling your food, you're going to learn how to pay attention to your appetite signals and eat less calories, especially if you're trying to either maintain your weight, maintain your body composition, and just be healthy. It takes time. It's a habit, and if you have trouble with this habit because you're always so busy and you're only able to eat like 2 or maybe 3 times a day, it might just be better off if you just start with baby steps. But think about this: 80% full, because remember, it takes a little while before your satiety signals stick in. You eat to a point where you're like, to loosen your belt because you ate too much. Well, stop just before that. If you focus on eating slower, you'll be able to pay attention to kind of how you're feeling when you eat. Second, make sure you have protein-rich meals. Always have a protein with every meal. You want to have about the size of your hand, the size of your palm, 2 servings or 2 palm-sized protein sources. It could be steak, it could be fish, it could be chicken breast, chicken thigh. Try to focus on leaner cuts. Like chicken breast would probably be a little bit better than chicken thigh, especially if you're trying to cut. But if you focus on eating protein, you'll be able to stay more full, and you're going to be a lot more effective at being able to make sure that you get what you need to make sure you build muscle, you recover properly from your workouts, and that way you don't overeat. Because usually when you're craving food, you're not craving protein. Sometimes you are, don't get me wrong, people do that, but under most circumstances when it's late at night and you have the munchies, the last thing you're looking for is broccoli and steak, right? Third, vegetables. Make sure you have vegetables with every meal. This is an easy habit to break. Only times that I focus on eating vegetables is when I'm trying to cut weight. A lot of the time, because I have a very active job and I work out very, very often, I get away with eating more calories. For a lot of people out there that have sedentary jobs that sit and commute for long periods of time, or they sit at a desk for long periods of time, or they just simply don't exercise enough or move enough, it's very easy to overeat carbohydrates. Bread, rice, pastas, grains. And it's not to say that that stuff is horrible for you, but it's understanding that if your goal is to lose weight, you have to control how much food you eat. And if you're not eating enough vegetables, you're going to get more foods that are more dense in calories, like grains. So focus on eating your vegetables and try to stay away and minimize how much grains you have. Because in the end, it's not saying that you can't have grains. You just want to make sure that you stay away from processed foods. All right, the next thing, starch. I'll lump processed foods into here because it's going to be impossible to always eat totally 100% whole foods every single time. Everyone is in a little different place when it comes to their food because we live busy lifestyles, and sometimes oatmeal is kind of the thing that we do. Some of us like breakfast cereal, some of us like chips. We like these kind of semi-junk foods that are either horrible for us or not as good for us. But it's understanding that if you focus on trying to earn those foods through exercise, essentially what I'm trying to say is that you want to have your starches. Like if you're going to have cereal, you're going to have pasta, you're going to have rice, you're going to have fruits even. You want to focus on having that stuff after your workout, within 3 hours after your workout. This will just help your body become more sensitive to insulin, because after your workout, you're sensitive to insulin. It'll minimize how much fat you're going to store. Now, don't get me wrong. If your total calories are low for the day or are under your maintenance, you're still going to lose weight. But it's more of a habitual, psychological thing. If you focus on eating your starch and carbohydrates after your workouts, you're just going to be able to not only control how much you eat, but you also get a psychological effect in your mind and a habit that you're only going to eat the starches if you've actually done something to earn them, because your goal is weight loss. And if your goal is not weight loss, it just helps you mitigate how much of it you eat. Having a donut for breakfast and having like a bunch of rice and sweets for lunch, and then having dessert at dinner, and then having some more rice, it's just too much starch for someone who's inactive. For someone who's very active, you can kind of go to town, and if you're not really trying to lose weight, it sort of doesn't matter. But in general, earn your starch, earn your carbohydrates. And the fifth thing, focus on eating healthy fats. Eat healthy fats so that way you are improving your inflammation markers, because remember that we always eat a lot of fats that are very omega-6 rich. And if you want to Google some stuff up this, you can. We have a very bad ratio of omega-3s versus omega-6s because a lot of us don't eat fish. If you eat a lot of fresh caught fish, you probably get enough omega-3 fats. And I think that's the reason why it's very important that you supplement with omega-3 fats, because it really does help with recovery and inflammation. A lot of studies out there that show that it helps with inflammation. It also just helps balance your fats, because you remember that your body wants to use fat as fuel. And if you eat fat, your body will use fat as energy. If you eat low-fat diets, what's going to end up happening is that your body's going to want to have a tendency to store, but that might be a little bit misunderstood when I say store. What actually usually happens is if your fat intake is too low, you'll kind of not put your body in the ideal environment for recovery. And the second thing is you're just going to tend to overeat, because fat helps you stay satiated, keep you satiated and keep you full. So those are just some 5 tips. Number 1, just briefly recap. Number 1, eat to 80% full and focus on eating slowly. 2, make sure you have protein with every meal, about palm size. For men, 2 palm size, like about the thickness and the size of your palm with each meal. 3, have vegetables. Have a serving of vegetables at every single meal. 4, earn your starch through exercise and have your starches after your workouts only within the first 3 hours. And number 5, focus on eating healthy fats. If you like this video, please click like. If you'd like to hear more stuff like this, make a comment below. I'll make more stuff on nutrition. I know a lot about nutrition, but I don't know what people want to hear. So just trying to develop my channel. And if you got some ideas for me, please feel free to leave a comment. And thanks for watching.